Dada Khanyisa, a multidisciplinary artist, is the recipient of this year's Fnb Art Prize. Khanyisa works in painting, sculpture and installation with a focus on the contemporary black experience. Khanyisa's work explores the human condition as it manifests in social, economic and architectural contexts in major cities such as Johannesburg and Cape Town. Khanyisa will have a solo exhibition at the Johannesburg Art Gallery, which houses the greatest collection of art on the continent, as the prize winner in 2022. Dada joins us now via our video link. Dada, congratulations, first of all. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, with this prize, you join the previous winners such as Wycliffe Mandopa, Lady Skoli and Neliswa Xaba. What does winning such an award mean to you?
Thank you, Katleho. Winning this award, it means a lot, and it means many things. It means that, there's a recognition for what I do and how I approach my practice. It's like a nod and a push towards the right direction.
Now, I have on good record that during your tertiary years, you were quite humble. You hardly ever spoke, but you were very disciplined with regards to your work. You also have a very strong passion for street culture, and that is what really influences your work. I'd like to hear from you. Where do you draw your source of inspiration from?
I think I draw my source of inspiration from the spaces I occupy, where I meet my friends, the people I have around me, the people I meet, or like the greater community. Also just like from the internet, because you get to see what's happening globally, like almost like instantly. So I think just stepping out and being one with the people kind of helps me keep inspired.
Now, as the winner of the 2022 Fnb Art Prize, you will have a solo exhibition at the Johannesburg Art Gallery, where it is the largest art collection of the continent where it's housed. What will audiences experience with your exhibition and your body of work?
That's a good question, because it's still in the planning phase, but I hope it almost welcomes people back to that space. I do not doubt that it will be an interesting crowd that will be present on the opening night. So I'm hoping that it will be a night of like opulence and realization, and almost like drawing attention to that part of town, as the capital of creation, and also as emphasizing the fact that there is a large collection of art and a large history that's associated with the gallery.
Over years, art has been associated with more than just entertaining audiences, but it's often been a platform used to communicate, especially with regards to our socio-economic issues. What do you feel is the impact of art, especially when it comes to the social, or rather the social illnesses that we're experiencing, specifically as a country?
Art has, I think it's like almost like unfiltered voices. You get to hear what the community thinks, or the community feels, or sometimes what the individual feels about what's going on in the community. I think there is that, looking at right now, there's a lot of art that is also present in advertising, and you get art that is featured in galleries, for example. And I think there's something different about that, because in advertising it's almost like communicating something particular, almost sticking to a brief. So I think the art that is almost independent is what communicates like what's going on in the community and the world we live in. So I think there's that particular role. And when I look at my own practice and what I focus on, just the culture of like leisurely practices, drinking culture, happy hour culture. There's also like a highlight of how that has been emphasized, growing up in South Africa and in Joburg, thinking about how there is a consumption problem. There is a lot of our practices and activities revolve around going out and having a good time and drinking. you know. So it's also like one of those things I've tried to highlight, but also without like pointing a finger.
Lastly, Dada, what advice would you have for young people who are not necessarily trained in school when it comes to art, but feel that they do have a talent, rather? What would you say to them in terms of overcoming certain challenges in them being able to experience and express their art with the rest of the world?
I'd say keep at it. You know, like I think growing up, I've heard a lot about practicing and it, you know, bettering your abilities. I think that's true. Just keeping at it, because sometimes validation comes last. It's the last step. So just practicing and doing what you do or what you're interested in will bring good results, you know, over time. And also just associating with certain initiatives, certain institutes. I think there's a lot more to help, you know, one cultivate a healthy creative career out there. There's a lot of support nowadays. You know, visit like venues like the you know, Art Joburg. You get to see what other people are doing, what you can do. You know, conversations to be had, going to panels. You know, just being part of the program will help one understand how they can better their own abilities.
Dada Khanyisa, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations once again, and we wish you all the best on your endeavors. That's Dada Khanyisa, who is the 2022 Fnb Art Prize recipient.